Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Indie Comics in Spain. Yet again, I brought on another fantastic two people who are independent comic creators. So I got two of them. I got my co-host, which is the hell, which is this guy, Mr. Marvin Wynn for the night. What's up, Marvin?
Hello, this is Marvin Wynn, writer of the Edge from Comicsburg. Got the white T-shirt on today because it's a little warm, so I'm not trying to sweat.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Never let them see you sweat, right?
Right.
There you go. And of course, the special guest of the night, Mr. Phil Russertt. What's up, Phil?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep. Listen, anytime, brother. You know how it is. I think we've done this a couple of times before, so I would imagine I guess every 6 to 8 months. Bring you back for the interrogation. All right, Phil, how's it going? What's going on? Right. But yeah, man, I mean, so just in general, how are things going with Philbo distribution? I know you're doing the printing. We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover, but how's that stuff going?
Distribution's, slow growth, but it's growth. I think we're launching our 15th or 16th catalog, and we've been doing this successfully for well over a year now. And we have about 600, I think it's 653 accounts signed up, retailers around the world. And, we just fulfilled an order for a store in France. And, growth is slow. And part of the obstacles to that growth are actually being addressed and fixed. And we expect to see much larger growth coming soon. But we're, considering I'm the little guy who came out of nowhere in an industry that's very tough and very competitive, and obviously, you've got these very successful large distributors. I think we're doing pretty good, and we're in a good place to grind and earn our keep, and just continue to grow and get out there.
All right, cool. All right, so listen, it's all about you tonight, so we're gonna be talking about your business. So we're gonna get all into the business, your business anyway. So you're doing the POD printing, right?
Yes.
I've looked at your prices. I can pull them up. They look competitive. So how is that going? Like how is that? Like how's because I don't even know. Are you operating the printing presses? You got somebody else operating printing presses?
We are not outsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
The printing press is in our fulfillment center.
Cool.
And it cuts a lot of labor costs for me because we no longer have to receive inventory. We no longer have to pick orders.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot, it cuts out a lot of labor. So that saved cost on labor, we want to pass on to savings to the publisher so that they have a markup on their books. Because we all know in direct market, you're working usually in the red or at a very slim, margin of profit. So we, instead of getting greedy, because we don't like the grift, we feel we can still make a healthy profit that doesn't have to be too much, and we can pass on savings to the publisher, and then the publishers can keep their MSRP down. We can offer 50% discounts to the retailers, and everybody's making more money, and it's a nice symbiotic three-way relationship that just helps the health and growth and strength of the industry,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So now, obviously, you got a list, like the list that's on your website. That's for outside customers, because I don't know if you're giving a separate rate for people.
Yes, if you distribute through us, you actually have a lower rate, and that rate includes our distribution fee.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We feel if you're investing in us as a publisher, we're investing back in you, and we, sometimes orders are, I'll be honest with you, we haven't broken 1,000 in orders, but we have people that are close to 1,000 at times, 800, 900. Some people sell 5 books. It really depends on what the publisher puts into it. But we want it to be where if that publisher only sold 5 books, he didn't lose his pants. I mean, obviously you have to make up your production costs, right. But at least on the end of the print cost and getting it in direct market, even if you can walk away with a 50 cent profit per book, it's sustainable for you to keep trying to build your audience through direct market, because Kickstarter is a wonderful tool, but it can't be the end all be all to reach enough people. We have to use all the tools in our belt, and this is just another tool to use. So,
all right, cool. Now, here's the other thing. Obviously, I'm sorry, Marvin. You got a question you want to jump in?
Right.
Okay. Because I'll just sit here. It's funny. I invited Marvin on just in case I was like, I might run out of questions, and of course I got like 50 of them lined up. So and I told Marvin
you go until you get tired, and then I'll get the next one.
Well, I mean, Marvin has a lot of direct market experience, so it's good to have him on too, because he'll know the deep questions to ask.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if you want me to go, or you want to go again?
No, go ahead.
Okay, sure. So you were talking about before about growing out. How are you handling retailer requests and retailer information, as far as, are you getting feedback on what they think should work, or things they don't like, or things that they are looking for you to do?
Yeah, some of the retailers are very happy. The ones that are working with us have been very happy with our customer service, what's going on. But some of the feedback we've received from them, we heard them. Obviously, getting up to a 50% retail discount is very important. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, most retailers don't have a problem with the prepay at this point. I mean, some do, and they're not budging on that, and I understand. But most people, the prepay is not an issue. The issues that arise for them are the discount isn't high enough, and because right now we have a 60-day order window, because we did that because we were trying to not only maintain that 3-month out, but to give the small press guys enough chance to develop relationships, market, get their books out there. Some of them are saying that's very long to wait on a prepay for books, and one guy said, he goes, I'm an older guy and it's hard for me to remember and keep track of where my money's out there and things like that. So we understand that, and because we're going to be able to go to the print on demand, we're going to go to a 30-day order window and shorten that a full month, so that it's easier for them to keep track. And we also will have a new website coming in about 2 weeks, where retailers can easily go into their account and track their orders. And because of the printing on demand, we're going to have tier pricing. Anything up to $100, which is a small order, is 40% discount. And you're allowed 2 returns, no questions asked, up to 30 days, okay? We want you to order with confidence. From $101 to $250, you get a 45% discount, and you can have 4 returns, no questions asked. You do not have to tear off the covers. You don't have to deface the books. You just we'll pay for the shipping and send them back. And anything over $251, you will get 50% discount and up to 6 returns in the month, no questions asked. And that way, like, say they wanted to order a book from Comicsburg, not that you're with us, but just using it as your example to try to advertise your books. Maybe they look at your book and they say that looks interesting, but I don't know if it'll sell because I don't have people asking for the pull list yet. So I'd like to order 4, but if they know that they're in this bracket that can get 6 returns, maybe they say, well, what the hell? I'm going to order 6 or 8. And that helps get you out there more because they can feel more confident in giving your book a try. So those were the 2 big issues that we heard, and those were the 2 that were addressed. As far as the prepay, we're not going to budge on that. And that's simply because, and this is just being real, there's 2 reasons for that. Diamond lost millions in unpaid invoices. And I don't have Diamond's ability to withstand, they didn't withstand it. I certainly can't. There's 3 reasons. The second reason is the publishers get paid quicker with this, and they need to turn that money around back into their books to ensure that we are delivering on time, because no retailer wants to invest in an issue 1 to find out that issue 2 is never coming. Mm-hmm. That's just not healthy for anyone. Mm-hmm. And the third reason we do the prepay is, I mean, just to be honest, it's no indictment on anyone specifically, but if you're a retailer and you have a $20,000 Lunar, a $20,000 Penguin Random House order, and now a $20,000 Universal order, and you have a $300 order from me, and your kid needs braces that month, and your store had a bad month because they were doing construction in front of your store, whatever, something's got to give if you're a retailer, right? Well, it sure as hell isn't going to be Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
So we have to protect ourselves and protect. And I take it seriously to protect the publishers that are trusting me to bridge that gap in the direct market. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of the questions I have, because a lot of it's pertaining to printing. All right. So basically, if I was decide, let's say I was decide to come to you and say, listen, I want to start distributing through your service, and you accept me and all that good stuff, and I say, but I'm printing out of China, right? So I have a minimum order, whatever it is. I have to order 500 copies or 1,000 copies. The printer I'm looking at actually has a minimum of 500 copies, so it's a nice small minimum. But it is like a 6-week turnaround, 7-week turnaround, because they got to get it from China, they get it from there to here, to your warehouse. How do we work that out?
Well, I don't believe that I should be gatekeeping your publishing company. That's your company to run as you see fit. So we are not going to demand any specific frequency by you. So if you know, hey, DM Ray, welcome. If you know that it's a 6-week turnaround for you to get your books in, we would just suggest to you make your frequency, a bi-monthly book, like every 2 months, right? Or quarterly. And that way you make it in time, you ship us the books. If you don't print through us, we take 10% from the publisher. And then wherever you fall on the retailer discount tier, and then you get the rest on your MSRP. So we would take the 10%, we receive the books, and knowing that it's going to take you 6 weeks, you would just have to make your frequency fit that. If you're looking to be monthly, then you really can't do that, because there's just no way to make it work. But that's where the printing helps, right? We do have, if you do 3,000, we'll do $1.50 a book. And again, that's here in the States. So ship, because when you go overseas, you may be doing 60, 70 cents a book, but they're using presses. So if you want a plate change because you have a variance, you have to spend $250, $300 each plate change. And then you're spending $800 by boat and $1,200 by plane. You're eating up all that savings, and you wind up being well more than $1.50 a book at that point. And you've got to wait 6 to 8 weeks for your book. Well, with us, you don't. You don't at all. You send us a file, and there's a contract that states we can only print up your books according to the direct market orders and any orders you fulfill yourself that you want for shows, etc. And that is in the contract. We want you to know that you're safe. We're not doing anything with your files. And not to sound disrespectful, but I'm trying to push my own books. What the hell am I going to be doing, spending time trying to sell your books on the side? You know what I mean? It's like, we didn't build all this to tear it down by stealing some small press IP. It's just, and it's not degrading the small press IP. I wouldn't even do it to steal Batman. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just stupid.
Yeah, it's bad business.
Yeah. I'm not in the business to wreck everything I'm bleeding for and working 21 hours a day for.
Yeah.
So we have that offset price, and we're going as low as we can because we're in the States. Paper's expensive. You pay click prices on the machine, etc. But again, with us not outsourcing, we save a lot. And you're no longer paying shipping. You're paying the low print cost, and you're guaranteed to be on time with your fulfillment. There's no late books anymore, which could hurt you as a small publisher to a retailer. Like, I prepaid, and where the heck are my books from Philbo? What's going on? All that's eliminated.
All right, cool. Now, on top of that, so pricing, right? What is, obviously Marvel and DC is selling a $4.99 book, $4.99 on typically a 20-page book, 21, 22-page book. Back in the day, it was about 24 pages, right?
Right.
But I've seen some indies, selling 32-page books, 24-page books, range anywhere from $4.99, $5.99, and $6.99.
Right.
Right. So, from your experience, what do you see? Are retailers willing to accept the higher prices because they're ordering indies?
Well, it's hard to quantify. I'll tell you, we have some people that are at $5.99 and they're selling okay, but I can't quantify if they would sell more if it was $4.99.
Right.
I do encourage to stay competitive with what's on the shelves, and that's around the $4.99 mark. But I do understand that depending on what you're paying, a lot of printers now are $380, $420, and then by the time you're paying the printer, and then you're paying the distribution percentage and the shipping, you're already in the red. So I don't ever gatekeep what a publisher's MSRP should be. But we do recommend, if you're able to, keep it at around that $4.99 spot. You got to be competitive. And let's be honest, we're outpricing new readers. We're outpricing the young readers that we want to get on board to be future readers. We want to get readers now at 12 and 13 that they are buying in their 20s and 30s. That's how we started, right? I mean, I don't know how old you gentlemen are, but I'm 53 and 9 years old. I started getting off a spinner rack, and they've had a loyal reader for 40 years. And I think that's what we're missing right now. And that's part of what I'm trying to establish, to get readers back. It's great to have the collector market, but that's not enough to sustain. Once Absolute Batman's fad runs out, what do we do next? Because it's a Band-Aid on an open wound,
Right. By my calculations, you lost an entire generation of
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree with you. And indie is no longer the stigma. I mean, we're working with professionals at this point that used to work with Marvel and DC, or even just independent artists are just stepping up. Now, some of them may not be as quick as, a Marvel DC artist, but the quality of books, I mean, you look at Marvin's books, you look at your book, the artwork's fantastic. The writing is solid and professional. They're entertaining books that can stand up against any other Marvel book on a shelf. It's just they don't know our IPs. So again, for me, it's consistency. If we have a direct market channel for us that can get us out there every month, it may take time, but through that time, that if you're afforded that time through pricing that helps you, you can build.
Yeah. So a question on that is that, again, with the retailer reach out. So have you spoken to Comics Pro at all about doing you're smiling.
Not to get into negativity, but before we even shipped one book, there were some people in that community that decided they wanted to post negatively about my business without even knowing its model, without knowing anything about us, before we shipped even one book. And unfortunately, there's a lot of resistance from that area. Now, I don't know any of them specifically. I do know that the ones I do know were not favorable in the way they spoke about us. So I'm not going to be lie. I've been kind of, I would say reluctant, but not ready to speak to them until I could get this tier pricing and everything in place, because I wanted to address the retailer concerns before I go to someone, go to an organization like Comics Pro to say, hey, take us seriously. I just, I try to be a problem solver. And, again, when you're already being knocked before you've done anything, then you really got to step up and prove yourself. When you approach them, you better be approaching them solid, ready to go. So I've just been waiting until, because I had all this planned out. It just obviously takes time. So once we implement everything, I do want to reach out to Comics Pro. I would like to go to San Diego, to California and be part of their event that, that is important. I just didn't want to go until I felt confident that we had something of quality to address to them.
Right. So what you say, are you talking about San Diego Comic-Con, or are you talking about the Comics Pro Retailer Summit?
Both. Their event, their summit, and San Diego, and become a presence at San Diego.
Right. So, they do stuff at C2E2, New York Comic-Con, and Rose City. Yes.
Again, and New York Comic-Con would be the easiest for me because I'm local. I want to, you come with your A, like you're a single guy and you go to a bar and you're approaching an attractive woman. You better be dressed right. You better be walking straight. You better have money in that wallet, and you better know what you're saying.
Right.
Right?
So do you think it would make sense for you to do your own kind of marketing summit with the retailers that you're already working with?
Wonderful question. I have definitely been looking into that. Again, that's something we're going to be rolling out and implementing at some point. I just wanted to get a more solid footing in the industry before I do that, because I don't want to turn out 2 people.
Right.
That doesn't benefit anybody, and it's just a money pit.
Mhm.
So I have to be calculated. I have to be patient, and I have to be smart, because I am David against Goliath. And even though I have a hell of a slingshot, I better have enough stones.
Right.
And there's another pun for you. I better have the stones, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So here's another question pertaining all to, remind you, every question, just about every question I ask you pertains to what I'm thinking as far as when I approach you to distribute my book, right? Because right now, I've done distribution way back in the day. I started in the 90s, and, when it was, capital city, Diamond, Hawaii, like there was like 14 of them,
Right.
But so here's the thing is, like, I'm looking now at heavier formats, right? So I'm looking at, should I print at 24 pages? Should I print at 32 pages? Should I print at 48 pages? Should I print at 56 pages square bound? Right? As opposed to using saddle stitch.
Well, I will say, and I don't mean to interject,
mm-hmm.
my feedback from retailers, and maybe Marvin has better intel, they like monthly ongoings, because that grows and becomes consistent pull list people. Right. I also believe publishers need to be, small publishers like ourselves, we need to be consistently in their face. And to do that, you should have a monthly. So my recommendation, and again, it's just based on what I know, maybe you don't, is do the saddle stitch, get your book out there, the monthly, and then if you want to do a collected volume after the first arc, not only you're doing the George Lucas where you can get that, the same product is being packaged 2 different ways, and you're hitting both demographics, because some people just want the graphic novel, and some people do like having that pull list every month to look forward to. You're reaching both demographics. You're also extending your longevity and your visibility in any distribution catalog. And that gives you a chance in retail with retailers to get seen. And with us, every catalog stays open, because we know that, say, your book is in there, JD, and issue 4, your sales are okay. But now that you get into issue 5, people are going, oh, all right, this guy's serious. He's sticking around, and I like this. And word starts to spread, like Dork, right? It started picking up after how many issues? We want the retailer to have no trouble at all to say, I need to go back and get 1 through 4, because now I got people wanting it in their pull list. So that's why we leave every catalog open, for that reason, and for that visibility, and for that consistency in their face.
Right.
So we just piggybacking on that. How many books on average, or guesstimate, are doing monthly through you?
We have over 82 publishers, and I would say probably about 80% of them are regulars with us. They have something coming out every month. There may not be a monthly series, but they have enough titles that every month they're soliciting in the catalog.
Okay.
And then we have people that are staggering, like they had a one-shot, they had an omnibus, they had a 4-issue miniseries, things like that. Because again, we welcome whatever frequency you want. All we say is you have to meet that frequency, whatever you choose. You can't be late.
Right.
All right, cool.
George Medina's on.
Yeah,
I just saw George today. I literally just got off a 5.5-hour ride from Massachusetts, from Plastic City Con, 15 minutes before I got on this show, and I saw George this morning.
Yeah, George's a good guy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. That's fair. That's fair. But
he's really good when he's sleeping.
Oh, there you go. Oh, damn. So he says, oh yeah, he's a real nice guy when he's not around, right? But all right, going back to, because like I said, it's one of these things. It's a running debate I have with myself, because I understand the monthly thing, right? But I have to kind of, all right, I'll explain my situation, right? Because my situation is a little bit weirder than most, all right? I have a lot of content. Like, I mean, I got a lot of content, right? So, but Oswald, the Oswald Chronicles, they're situated and they're broken up. They were always meant to be like part of a bigger story, but they're shorter stories within that bigger framework. So it's kind of like the way Mike Mignola did Hellboy. So he would have like, one story named, Ghost whatever, and then the other one would be Skeleton whatever. So it's the same thing with the Oswald Chronicles, right? So I would be cycling. Most of them are 4 issues, some of the 6 issues, some of the 5 issues, but I have one that's 8 issues, right? So it's a little bit on the longer side. So I'm thinking if I release that one, instead of doing it as 8 issues, I'll compress them, make them into 4 issues, right? And then there'll be 48 pages or 56 pages books. And I'll release them bi-monthly, and I'll be able to, put them out within the 1 calendar year. As opposed to if I did it the other way, I would still have to go bi-monthly, and then I would be releasing it, a year and a half, a year and 2 months. So I'm thinking that's my thought process, that it's easy, that it would be better for me to shrink it, that calendar year, right, than keep it going, right? Because maybe I can keep them more engaged, issues 1 through 4, with a prestige format.
Well, it depends, right? Because the dynamic with Philbo is different than the dynamic with Lunar, right? Like if you're in Lunar, most retailers are going with them. They're the distributor. Mm-hmm. So your sales are going to be higher through Lunar than me, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that works with them. But going through me, maybe it doesn't, because you're new and I'm new, and maybe that first book doesn't do great. And you might want to have that second book, 24 pages in the second book coming out 2 months later, and extend it over 8 to 12 or 16 months to give you a chance to build momentum. Not saying that that's the right way to go, just saying it's a thought process, because when you go into distribution with me, you can't think the same along the lines, just being realistic, right? I'm not knocking myself, but we can't think along the same lines as we would if we're in Universal or Lunar, just because I'm still growing myself. And to go with me, we're growing together.
Yep.
So that does change the marketing and the mindset of a publisher.
Right.
There is no right or wrong answer. You have to do what's best for your business. But I just like to let people know, I will never promise you anything I can't keep. All I can promise you is this. You will be in my catalog. You will be in front of at least 653 people that are signed up with us. We do email blasts. We offer for free. We pick a random cover to be the cover of our catalog without charging you. And I give you and Marvin probably already has this, but I give you the list that Diamond released during its bankruptcy that a lot of people can't find. And it's up to you to market and use that list in your favor to develop relationships with retailers, libraries, etc. So we do try to give you some tools to help you, but I don't know what your sales are going to be. Like I said, you could be selling 5 books, 0 books, or 800 books. I can't say what a retailer's thought process is. All I can tell you is I promise you we're trying to build relationships, get you out in front of them, and the rest is up to you. We're the mailman. We're not the marketing team.
Right.
But we do some marketing for you that others won't. Like if you have flyers that you say we're selling to 300 stores and you're only ordered by 6.
Right.
You send me flyers, I will not charge you extra. We'll throw flyers in those other 294 stores to at least let them know, hey, have you seen this? Check out the Oswald Chronicles, So we try to do little things like that you won't get anywhere else to help you, because I'm one of you. I'm a small press guy too. I understand the grind,
Right.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do flyers or peripherals through Diamond, that was a whole entire SKU. We had to do a whole nother SKU. It had to have a barcode on it and everything to send stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that to you. Yeah.
So just to address Paige's question that he asked. Stay tuned.
What?
Oh, okay.
Marvin being mysterious.
And with our printing, we also offer Kickstarter fulfillment for people. So we really can be a one-stop shop, but we're not mandating that. You can just use us as a printer. You could just use us as distribution. You could just use us for Kickstarter fulfillment. You could use us for all 3, 2 of 3. I know it may sound like a line of crap, but I love this industry and I love comics, and it's the greatest medium in the friggin' world.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the struggles. I know the ups and downs. I know one minute you guys probably feel, yeah, this is great, this is working. And the next minute you're like, what am I doing? I'm killing myself here. Why? And why is it so friggin' hard? And I'm broke. And my wife is mad at me because I just spent this much money on an artist. And I got too many books in my house. And I get it. And I want to try to be part of the solution. Like me or hate me, like what comes out of my mouth or not, you can trust it. And what I'm telling you is, I really just want to be part of the solution and try my best to help fix the problems that are being ignored in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'm just going to try, you know?
Yeah. Listen, bro, you're doing it. You're doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, the step you took financially, I know financially, you took a heavy step.
Dude, I own the printer. I'm not leasing it.
You don't know. I know what those. I worked on those printers for a number of years. I priced them a few years ago, considering opening up a print shop. So I know what.
Dude, you could get a house.
Right. I know what those machines cost. I know what the ancillary equipment costs on top. Yes. So you got cutters, binding equipment, you got all this other stuff that you need.
And just so you know, our machine actually has the 2 knife trim and the face trim in it.
Oh, good.
So we're not sitting there and cutting it on a separate machine. It does it all for us. It's a really, really high quality production machine.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, to own it, woof, like you said, you could buy a house, you know, and we're in New York, so that means something. It's an expensive house, you know, all of it.
By the way, I'm a registered nurse by day, and I had someone say they were concerned that this is just a hobby. I have to address that. Mm-hmm. If this was just a hobby, I'm the dumbest son of a bitch on the planet. All right, because this isn't buying action figures, and I splurged and spent $300 on a Mego figure or whatever Mego figure. This was a large business investment, and I have bled for this because we are serious, and we have sustained for over a year because we're not joking. I do have a team. I do have a staff that I pay. I do take this seriously. We are a legitimate distributor trying to just grow and really get a footprint in the industry. So for anybody who, when you hear me say I'm an RN during the day, so what? I work 21 hours a day. I'm not great because, you know, I'm great because of the comics. You know, I'm great because of this industry, but I'm great because I love what I'm doing. So don't worry about that. We have a staff. We are a legitimate company. We are legitimate in what we're doing. And I do want to remind people, some of you don't know this, you are not to pay sales tax to your printer. Send them your resale certificate or your tax ID. You are not the final sale, you know, and the same goes for retailers to distribution. We do not charge sales tax as a printer or a distributor to you because you are not the final sale. You will be charging that to the customer that your final sale is. So just, you know, just a little tidbit for some people that don't realize that.
Right, but that also matters if someone has set up an LLC also. And
correct.
They're not playing games. They're actually running a business.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I mean, we went over pricing. Oh yeah. So I mean, like I said, going back to what I was positing. Was, you know, 56-page book for we all remember the prestige format books from back in the day.
Yeah,
stuff like Gilgamesh. I don't know. There was Marvel and the old Akira comics. Remember those?
Yep.
Right. So
actually, I just saw some in the store today.
Yeah, those things. My understanding that they're going for decent prices these days. I don't know what they're going for, but
I didn't look, but
yeah, but that's the format I'm looking to produce in, right? Because I've spoken to a lot of people. And a lot of us are doing the same thing over and over again, right? And it's, you know, and expecting a different result. And of course, right. You know, we all know what the definition of that is, right? So that's why I'm trying to look for a solution that's a little different. You know, if I produce it as a thicker book, prestige format, you know, do something along those lines. I mean, that's probably something I'm probably going to be doing at the beginning of next year, right? So I'm looking at 2027. And I know there was no question in that whatsoever.
Well, my point is, getting back to what we said, you're the publisher. You have to do the best decisions for your business. I'm not here to tell you what your frequency, what your MSRP is, or what your page count is. I'm going to tell you these simple things. Have your barcode. If you have nude variants, I want them black bagged or covered up because I don't want them next to Spider-Man, because then a mom is not taking her kid in that store ever again. I don't care what the inside is, but the cover just covered up.
Right.
And whatever your it can't look like your 5-year-old did the logo design. It just has to look like a professional book. Art is subjective. I'm not going to tell you no because I don't like your art. I'm going to tell you no if the sequential work is not professional and if the logo looks like a 5-year-old did it.
Right.
And the last criteria, meet your frequency, because when you're late, you hurt every publisher in my distribution. We'll lose retailers if you're late and they don't get their books. That's the biggest thing for us. If you're late 2 times in a row, we terminate our business contract with you, and it's in the contract. If you're late 2 times in 6 months, we terminate our contract. If you shoot, and we had one person just do this, they only sold 18 books, and I have no control over that. So they refused to fulfill that order.
Right.
They're terminated because now I have to refund that money to the retailers. I have to do damage control at retailers. I just lost money because it costs money to pay someone to put them in the catalog. It costs money. I lost my percentage on those sales, and now I have to return the money and the shipping and everything. So that's an instant termination. You need, if you come on board as a publisher, you need to be professional. You need to take this seriously, and you need to understand that I'm a tool and I'm an avenue that what you put in is what you get out. That's it. And if you don't take it seriously, if you think just being in a catalog is going to get you a win, then I ask you, just being on Kickstarter, does that get you funded?
Right.
No, you got to hustle. You got to market. You got to get out there. That's your job and your responsibility as a publisher. We'll do what we can to help, but you have to live up to your professional obligations with us. And that's the only criteria that we really have. You don't want to print with us and you want to print somewhere else and ship us the books, just get it on time. Fine, no problem. And we do hold consignment inventory. We do not pay for consignment inventory. We also do not charge you for holding it. But we will hold consignment inventory.
So here's a question for you. Let's say if I have a book, let's choose one of my books, Magi's Grace, where I have multiple covers, right? Let's say I decide to say, okay, listen, Phil, can we put in, I don't know, let's say 4 covers, right? But I'm going to print my A cover at another printer in China. But B, C, and D, I want you to print those.
That's fine, because you may sit there and say, my A cover, I'm going to want 3,000 of that or whatever, but I'm only going to want to fulfill the 25 or 30 or 500 or whatever that you do distribute. That's fine.
Yeah.
We want this to be as simple as possible for you, and we want you to be autonomous in running your own business.
Okay, cool. Now the other question is you had mentioned that let's say if you do offer adult covers, right? You want them covered, which I understand completely. Would you handle the printing on that, and then how do we go about bagging that?
So what a lot of guys are doing is, because when the poly bags can be expensive, it's adding $1 to your cost, etc., is they bag and board them, and they just have like spicy stickers they put over the parts. So yeah, I mean, if we're printing for you, then we would have to bag and board, but I would have to charge you for the cost of the bag and boards. Our fulfillment services are already in the cost, so I unless it's like a heavy order of where we're bagging and boarding 1,000 books.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not going to nickel and dime you. Like if it's 50 books, whatever, we'll just bag and board them. We'll ship them out. We're good to go. Right. If we're looking at 500 to 1,000, then we would have to discuss, and we would be very transparent. Hey, there's 1,000 books that we have to bag and board and then put stickers on. This is what we would charge for that on top of the print cost. And then you make your decision if that makes sense to you, or if you'd rather do it on your own and send it to us.
Right. Okay, cool.
Which, to be honest with you, the reason why I don't have a number answer for that is because we haven't encountered that yet, and you just brought something new to my attention that I have to consider now.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've been thinking about this. I got all this craziness going on in my head. Here's another one. I'm in Queens. I know you're local to me, right?
I would meet you and pick up your books so you don't have to spend shipping.
Okay. Or I could just, or I could just drive them up to you. I don't know if you have an open facility that I could drop it off at.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My home has been doxxed. I have people creating YouTube channels about me. I have people that have tried to hurt my business. They've come after my family. They've harassed us online. So I try to keep things private. So our facility is private. It's a small facility that's 2,000 square feet that is close to my residence.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a huge warehouse by any means, but it is a fulfillment area that I own. And I, for security reasons, I try to keep the public out.
Yeah. Listen, that's completely.
But I would easily meet you somewhere halfway, help you out, and pick up your book.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, my home was doxxed, and I have 2 small children.
Yeah, no.
They used on YouTube the Google Maps to show the house. They gave the address, and God forbid some lunatic, decides to. I have my elderly mother lives here, my children, so I'm very guarded with that. So forgive me, but yeah, the public is not accessible right now to our facility.
No, that's completely fine. I'm sorry to hear that even happened to you. I didn't.
You have no idea what comes after me, guys. You don't.
That's bonkers that people are that insane. Like, you're trying to help people. You're trying to help the community, and then people from our community trying to tear you down. That's insane.
I don't understand it, but I don't let it affect me, because if I'm focused on them, I'm not focused on being part of the solution. I just become part of the problem. I'm not getting into any stupid wars online. That's for people who need attention. I don't need attention. I just need to do my business.
All right. Sounds good. Marvin, you got anything?
Yeah. So has anyone come to you and said that they wanted to do blind bags?
I actually no, but we'd have no problems with that. But if you want to do blind bags, we can do that. We're open to everything that's going on in the market right now. You want to do ratio variants? We're fine with that too. Blind bags. There might even be things I haven't even thought of that you may come to me as a publisher and say, look, I'm looking to do this as an incentivizer. Are you willing to do this? And there's probably no reason why I would say no. I mean, it's about marketing and getting us out there. And as long as the only thing you'd work out is if it's extra labor costs to me, I would just have to cover that, and just let you know what that is. But I'd be very fully transparent with you before you made any professional decisions.
So when JD wants to do die cut covers, then it's good.
And whatever you guys need to do. And by the way, in our digital catalog, you get a full page for every cover. So if you have 4 covers, you'll get a full page for each cover. We want them to see it, Yeah. And with the advent of the print on demand, we will be doing a physical catalog. And every retailer will get a free catalog, and then the others will be 99 cents each. And you could sell them to customers, or sometimes they just give them out, and customers love to collect them.
Cool. Very nice. Actually, let me pull up your website, Phil, so I can just show people.
And we're going to be going to a new one, which is going to be even better. It's very self-automated, much more user-friendly. Publishers will have their own portal that they can track their sales. Retailers will have a portal to track their sales. This is the public price sheet. We do have a separate sheet for distribution, which is enclosed to those who join us within distribution. But you do get a better rate in distribution, and that's because you're investing in us, and we are going to invest back in you.
Yeah, and listen.
And we have to fix this because we're not going to be able to do 6x9 prints right now. And it's a complicated situation, but we forgot to change it on the website. We do 11x17 prints right now, but we won't be able to do 6x9 right now.
Okay, cool. But
we can do 6x9 books, digests, as long as, and depending on the paper stock you use, we can go as high as 80 pages on the saddle stitch, and we do a square fold, so it looks like a perfect bound, but it's actually saddle stitch. And with the with an 80-pound gloss text cover and a 60-pound silk smooth interior, which is really nice, by the way. We can go up to 80 pages in that saddle stitch.
Oh, cool. All right. And like I said, I've your prices are very good in comparison to a lot of the other printers that I've seen. So,
and again, if you do the if you do 3,000, we'll give you $1.50 per book.
Right. There you go. Very nice. And I mean, you know, I don't know. You can click on any one of these. These are all PDFs that you can download.
Yes.
You know, so these are really great.
And the retailers on the retail side, we have our CSV, our data sheets are up there. They can upload at any time that they want. They can even go back to the old ones and upload those.
Nice.
We know it's a lot of work for them to put it on their website, so we want, even if it's an old catalog, we want you to do that. No, we don't bump the price for adding covers. There is no plate changing involved, so there's no need for me to gouge you. If you have 5 covers, it's the same price whether you do 5, and we have no minimum. If you're doing a Kickstarter and you only sold 1 of that cover C, there's no upcharge. We just the same price. We'll print that 1 for you, and it'll be part of your batch.
All right, very nice.
Sorry, I just saw what Tom asked. So
no, that's cool. Tom is out there. What's Tom asking? Tom, this guy. You know, but it's a good question though. Like, you know.
And just so you know, of the 3,000 to get the $1.50, it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 of one cover, 1,000 of another cover, and 1,000 of a third cover. That's 3,000 books. We're digital press, but we're giving you offset prices. Right. So we don't have a printing press that requires plate changes. There's no need for me to gouge you on that. We can ship to Canada. It's obviously expensive, but we can ship to Canada. Yes.
Yeah.
That would depend again on, you know, how many pages it is. Is it full color, black and white? But if you calculate on going by this, it goes up 10 cents for every 4 pages, and that's how you calculate that. So you would just have to use those prices there. But if you're in distribution, you would get a better price. You won't see that price sheet until you're actually signed on in distribution.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Like I said, at least until we're at the point where we're having that face-to-face, your submission's been accepted.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'm just going to make this clear. We will accept anyone as long as they meet our criteria. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're someone who hates my guts and you've bashed me online. I don't care if you're someone who loves me. I don't care if you're, what country you're in. We don't care. We care about comics. We care about the industry. And as long as your books are quality, you have a right to be out there. I am not a grudge holder. I'm not a spiteful man. I'm all about the industry. So I don't care who you are. And I'm not saying this to anybody in the chat. I'm saying this to people that are probably watching this. I don't care. We can do business and not have to break bread. Mm-hmm. It's business.
Yep. I agree.
And I will always be professional with you no matter what. Mm-hmm. Until it's time to terminate. And then it's like, take care. But I don't expect that.
Does the music play whenever you terminate someone?
Yeah. Well, you know what I do? You ever see the Sandman from Showtime at the Apollo?
Yes.
We get him out there. Yeah. He takes the cane and he pulls you.
Sleep him off.
Nice. What is this?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were supposed to be up and running already, and we missed that window because of a snafu on the company that sold us the machine. They sent us the wrong machine. So by the time we went through the red tape and got the new machine, we missed that window. But we're up now. Right now, unfortunately, the new website's not going to be up for another 2 weeks or so. So if anybody wants to place orders through us, if you go to the current distribution website, there is a contact us page. You can contact me through there. There's a phone number and an email, and I always get back to people within 24 hours, usually within 2 or 3 hours. I'm very big on correspondence. Time is of the essence for people. Everyone's time is important. But you would just have to place orders directly through me until we get that up.
So you said 2 weeks.
Mix them, yeah.
The website should be up.
Yeah, Mixum is a great company, but I'm hearing they're expensive, and then they charge extra for simple services like bubble wrap and stuff. We're not trying to gouge anybody.
I know Ready Comics had dropped some of their prices after Comics Wellspring went down.
Yeah, they're a wonderful company as well. And look, we think competition is a great thing because that helps keep prices honest. It helps the open market. We don't see anybody else's competition. We're not here to tear anybody down. We think everybody should, be able to live and thrive. I've used Ready Comics; they're wonderful. We've used other printing companies. All we can do is tell you is if you see what we're doing and you think it makes the most best for your business, we're happy to get your business. And that's it.
All right, cool. Now, you had mentioned earlier about the list that you would provide to
yes, the diamond list. 28,000 contacts.
Right.
Some of them are irrelevant to you, but yeah.
Right. But my question would be is would you be willing to whittle that down to just the people who are ordering from you or who are registered to you? Because I honestly don't need to contact that many people.
Well, that's me putting in labor for you. I'm giving you a list that you can find. I mean, no disrespect, but if you're serious about your publishing, put in the work. You'll have to vet that list and weed it out to what you need. I'm giving you a list that no distributor is ever going to give you. So the rest is up to you, because I got to spend time or money to have somebody whittle down that list, and that's an expense on me, and I can't do that.
Gotcha.
Unless you wanted to pay us to do it for you, and then we would, but then we'd be charging a fee for that list to everybody.
Right.
What I tell everybody is, I mean, you guys know, you've been doing this for 20, 30 years. Marvin's been part of major things in the industry. You've been, major things. No one's handing you shit.
Oh, for fact.
You want it, go get it, And if someone's handing you a list, just say thank you and do what you got to do with the list. If someone's handing you in, Marvin was very kind, I will tell you. 2 years ago, he sent me a list of, I think it was maybe 35 or 50 at the time that you accumulated of stores that really supported indie books. I didn't know Marvin well, but he was very kind to share that. I share Marvin's mentality with that. But when you look at 28,000 people, I don't think even Marvin can be that generous. It's like I can't weed all that out and just hand you a list.
So
I mean, wrong.
That list is now at 411 US, and then.
But you did it yourself, right?
8, yeah. Well, some people, I when I made it live, some people jumped in and helped a little bit, and only 8 international. So I mean, I'll send you the new list, and it is kind of cut down to just
because there's a lot of other distributors, closed stores, other contacts on there that aren't necessary.
Right. I mean, the last update was in April. So it might be kind of there's no closed stores on it, and there's new stores that just opened recently, so that it needs updated again. But I mean, if you want the other list, I'll send it. I'll send that to you also.
Very kind of you.
Because
that's what I'm talking about, man. It's about community, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Because that diamond list, like JD was saying, it like most of those stores don't care about indie books, and a lot of those people who are in those stores are very rude.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, whenever we do these chats with retailers, I always tell people be very careful on how you communicate with retailers, because some of them don't want you to call them. Some of them only want you to send emails. They want you to send PDFs. So and they don't want you to send a PDF until you talk to them sometimes.
Right.
So be very, very careful on how you take that list and try to filter through it. I would say, and to be on your just upfront, send an email, no matter who it is. Don't call.
Right.
If you're going to call, Thursdays, Fridays. Do not call Monday. Do not call Tuesday. Do not call Wednesday.
They're Thursday. Ordering and they're getting ready for Wednesday. Exactly.
You will get cussed out, and they will probably never want to talk to you again. Thursday, Friday. Sometimes Saturdays. Like some stores told me, "Oh, call back Saturday," because the guy who does
ordering
is on Saturdays. So, like I said, that I would send an email and say, "Hey, do you mind if I call you? Do you mind if I send you a PDF?" Just be careful, because you're the enemy if you do it wrong, and they will never deal with you again.
That's true. And a lot of the retailers are old school and they're kind of set in their ways, and that, you know, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
advice.
like I said, but if you want to share that list, and those are ones that I've vetted, and those are the ones that are very, very willing to listen.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I just don't have time to vet that whole list. I mean, I'm running 3 companies now, so.
Right.
Yeah. No. Well, actually, what's funny is what I'm looking for is not the list, is access to sending an email to the 650 people who are signed up with you. So even if I had to say,
I see.
You understand? I just want to.
You know, that's been brought to me, and I'm on the fence with that. And the reason why I'm on the fence with that is, yes, Antarctic Press. We distribute Antarctic Press.
Yeah,
the problem with me giving you that list is the only reason why you need me is my connection to the retailers. And I've had publishers go behind my back to stores and cut me out. So I have to be very careful of that. So if I were to give you the list of the 653 people that signed up, why do you need me? You know, and I know that's, look, I'm for the community, but I do have to protect myself as well. And I hate to be that way, but I've had publishers cut me out and move around me. And that doesn't just hurt me, it hurts every other publisher that was with me. Instead of and I try to tell the publishers, the long game is, instead of trying to get that deal with that 3 to 5 stores on your own, if you help Philbo build into being the size of Lunar, now you are going to get orders 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and you don't have to do all that work. You know, building me builds you, because I'll carry you on my shoulders, in the sense of I'm bridging that gap between you and the stores. But if you cut me out and you go behind me, that's where you're going to be for the rest of your life. Consignment with a bunch of stores, and you got to keep track. You don't know what they've sold, what's been damaged, what's gone. You're right, Tom, but I do. And I think we all need to start looking at long game. I think it's very important. Otherwise, this isn't going to work, because if we continue with the short-term answers, we're eventually going to run out of answers. You can't put a Band-Aid on an open wound and think that the wound is going to heal. You have to go through the healing process. And that takes time. So I agree that I feel in long game. You know, this is a 12-round fight, and we're in the first minute of the first round. You know, some people are worried about, how do I get out of the first round? And those are the guys that get knocked out in the first round. I'm talking about sustainability. I'm talking about viability. I'm talking about consistency. You know, they say to you, you know, be in the right place at the right time. And then someone will always say, well, how do you do that? Simple. Always be there. If you're always there, when the right time comes around, you're already there waiting for it. I mean, that's why people will talk about crappy TV shows more than they'll talk about a really good independent book. Because that crappy TV show has been in their face every day, on every network, on every channel, on every magazine. You know, it's like Wizard Magazine used to do that for books, right? Billy Tucci, good friend of mine, she was big in the 90s. Wizard had a lot to do with that, because Wizard was telling you, hey, this is a great book, check this out. And on the next page, they were talking about Mark Silvestri and Cyblade and Image Comics. We don't have anything anymore that really tells the audience, dude, you got to check out this book. I mean, we've got these influencers online, but we all know a lot of them get paid under the table by the large companies to try to tell you what you're supposed to like. Well, we don't have anything that's getting you out there telling you, man, you missed out. This Oswald Chronicles, if you like anthropomorphic and you like fantasy and you like stuff, this is right up your alley. We don't have that, which, by the way, we're working on something for that as well. We're going to be putting out our own Wizard type magazine that's interactive, entertaining. It's not going to be some boring magazine with some articles and a lot of ad revenue, just gouging people. We're not doing that. It's going to be interactive for people. It's going to be informative. And I actually planned on reaching out to Marvin at some point, because I love what you guys do with data collection and things like that, to see if you wanted to partner in some way so we can have a section of that in the magazine, which of course you'd get a cut, you'd get taken care of, we'd work out the stuff. But we want it to be informative and entertaining at the same time, to where it makes sense for you to pick up this magazine, you know, like having, you know, interactive things, cover contests you can join, art contests, letters pages, things like that. And then like informative stuff on how to self-publish, create things, statistics. So we're looking to do that at some point as well. We're really looking to do what we can to build. And in that, we would have 6-page previews of a highlighted independent comic, to get you out there. And giving that 6-page preview is not just showing a cover in an article. It's, hey, you could see the writing and the quality of the art right here. Mm-hmm. We also, I was speaking to a retailer today, when we get to our physical catalog, we want to highlight a retailer of the month. And if they give us an ad, we will put it in for free in the catalog. So we're highlighting the retailer of the month to work with retailers. We want to work with everyone. We want to bridge gaps. Right now, it feels like there's a war, retailers against publishers, publishers against retailers. The distributor is just trying to get what he can out of the other two. It's not healthy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If we're all working together and we're all making money and not grifting off each other, it's a healthy industry. Mm-hmm. And we can build this up and get readership back. And everyone that has a quality product can succeed. Not everyone's going to succeed. Sometimes the book is just not good enough, or maybe you didn't market enough, or whatever. But anybody who deserves a fighting chance to get in the ring, we want you in the ring. What you do with that fighting chance is up to you, but we want you in the ring.
Right. And I mean, you saw what happens when you've got dividing little sides here. That was Diamond. That like their whole entire failure was a failure for the entire industry.
Right. Mm-hmm. Agreed. And then the way they went out and all the publishers that lost inventory and didn't get paid, and it was horrible. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we have Terry Moore, Strangers in Paradise, with us, right? And just to let everybody know, if there's any retailers watching, they're about to go to Dark Horse in October. We won't be able to distribute their books anymore unless I buy the inventory, which I might. So we're selling it at 70% off right now. All his omnibuses for Strangers in Paradise, Echo, Motor, what was it? Motor City.
Motor Girl?
Motor Girl, that's it. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So those are at 70% off if you want those omnibuses, but you got to get them soon. Unless I buy the inventory, then I can keep distributing them. But so, we work with Terry Moore. We worked with Marat Michaels. We work with Billy Tucci. We work with Antarctic Press, Devil's Due, Heavy Metal. Zenoscope is now at Universal, but we have their backstock. We're carrying some of their older stuff. We were there when they couldn't get picked up. We were doing their Grim Fairy Tales 100 J. Scott Campbell cover. So.
Yeah, so you're saying that Diamond's Fair was actually a plus for AP because they've increased their sales by 20%.
That's great. So, yeah. Joe and Ben are really great guys, and I think they do wonderful things for the community, the way they pull other people on and get them out there. And they're really nice guys to work with, and they're communicative, and they're just good-hearted people. I really like them. Good people.
All right, cool. Let me pull up something else this is for Marvin. Because The Edge. I just want to go. Marvin, we'll make this. Come on, pitch it to us. So,
so this is The Edge, Volume 3, covering issues 10 through 14. So we're in the midst of our continuing war of enhanced people. We have the organization God's Thunder from issue number 1, who hate anyone who has special powers. So they have recruited Kyrad, this hulking, 8-foot tall, destructive monster, to eliminate them for them. So he's going out and just wrecking anyone who has powers. His hammer, he's able to charge with any kind of energy. So he starts off by draining a reactor, and then he goes around the world just powering up his hammer.
Gotcha. All right, cool. When are you looking to? When are you fulfilling, more or less?
I'm fulfilling at this very moment. Orders have gone out for a lot of stuff, so should have everything ready to go by October. So I'm supposed to ship in November.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, mostly everything was done except for the trade itself. Everything else was done.
All right, cool. So I'm looking forward to my trade. That's what I'm asking.
You're looking forward to your
Big
trade.
stuff.
You ain't getting no trade.
Yeah. I ordered a trade. Come on. You know
so
I support.
I don't know, late pledges until whenever. I don't know. I'm like, it might as well keep it up, right? So why take it down if they don't give me a time limit?
All right, cool. Real quick, I'll pull up my campaign, which is for the Oswald Chronicles, A Country Night in New York City. I got another 7 days. This is issues 1 through 4, and this is about a young lady. Her name is Anna, and she's a knight, and she's on a quest to bring an army to save her people. And Oswald is recounting this story because it deals with his bigger story. So, but these are some. We have some Frazetta, homage covers. We have a couple of them, the Death Dealer covers, and these are some of the interior pages by Jade Gonzalez. So, all right, that's pretty much it. I got another 7 days. Go check it out.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
Black and white. Wow.
Well, I thought I explained this to you, so I'll explain it again. So what I do is I commission my artists. They give it to me in black and white, right? Mm-hmm. I go through the process of selling it on Kickstarter, right, in black and white. Then at the end of it, I compile it into a trade paperback, which is, in black and white. And then after about a year, I re-release it in color.
Gotcha. Okay, now I remember you telling me that. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then to be honest with you, the only reason it's done like that is because it's an expensive process. I have to take as many shots at that as possible. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Richard and Wendy Pini. And these are two people who've managed to keep ElfQuest in print in I don't know how many different formats. Right? Color, black and white, digest, they've done it in every size, every format, hardcover, softcover, you name it, they've had it. Nice slick gloss paper, newsprint, they don't care. But that book has been out there for the last. I mean, I remember being 12. And maybe 13, 14. No, it was like 12, 13, going down to Forbidden Planet. And that book was there, And I mean, we're talking in early 80s, 81, 82. And that book is still in print. God bless it. So that's what I say. I say, keep it in print for as long as you can in as many formats as you can. And just keep printing it because here's the thing, there's 8 billion people in the world and there's no way you've hit all of them. So you just keep printing it and keep selling it. And then that way, you'll never hit the 8 billion, but at least you get more out there.
Right. So so with the prestige format you were talking about before, is the goal to then go libraries and bookstores and
well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course that's the next phase. But like I said, right now it's one of those things where it's just getting it out there. Just taking that next step and just getting it a little bit further out there. And that's what I'm looking for. So yeah.
So I have one more question, Phil. I mean, are we wrapping up?
Yes, in a couple of minutes. But yeah, ask. Oh, and Phil, if you got any questions for us or just for the audience?
Well, first, I'm an idiot. I should have brought in a sample of one of my books that I printed to show you, but that's my fault. I ran in, like I said, I just got off the road from Massachusetts, so oh well. But no, go ahead. I'm sorry, Marvin.
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned before that you do 12-hour shifts before, right?
Through my day job, you mean?
Yeah.
No. I contract myself as a home care nurse, so I have a very flexible schedule.
Okay. So how, and I'm pretty sure that this is something that everybody want to hear. How do you juggle the hats?
Great question. So being that I contract myself as a registered nurse that does home care, sometimes I work from home over telehealth, sometimes I work out in the field. So I'm very flexible with my schedule where I really work 3 days full. I could work 3 full days. I could work 6 half days. I can or take a day whenever I need. But I also have staff. We have a fulfillment team. Maura Powers is, she was my product manager, but she's coming on board as a percentage owner who takes a lot of heavy lifting now as well. We have administrators that help. And it's also a family-run business. My wife steps in and does a lot to help as well. So I do have staff. I do have help. The biggest thing for me is I'm the face. So I'm the one who's really dealing with all the communications with retailers, new publishers coming on board, etc. But those are things that I can schedule and work out and, around the day job, etc. But we are a team of, I think there's 9 of us or 10 of us, and then me. So, I'm not doing this alone, but it is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not exaggerating when I say I do 21 hours a day. Again, I just got off the road from Plastic City Comic-Con, Massachusetts, jumped right on this live, and then we have, I have my own publishing things to do. I have pages to edit and things like that. So, there's no rest for the weary. You love what you're doing. You're not working.
Right.
Yeah. So, so Phil.
Yes.
What would you say is your biggest obstacle, right? And what can we do as a community to try to help you overcome that obstacle?
That's a fantastic question. The biggest obstacle is getting retailers to take me seriously and to take independent books seriously. That's the biggest obstacle. I have plenty of publishers on board. I have plenty of publishers each day. God bless them. We welcome them. But we need more retailers ordering regularly and coming on board. And we think that this printing is going to afford us to fix the situation, the problems that they've addressed, at least for most of them, What can you do? And I say this all the time. The people that have the power in this industry are the consumer. When you go into a store, your local store, and say, hey, do you order the Oswald Chronicles through Philbo distribution? No, I don't work with Philbo. How come? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, did you know that they're actually giving 50% discount or whatever? Or well, me and 5 of my friends are going to walk in this store now and we're going to say, we want the Oswald Chronicles in our pull list every month. You just told that retailer, I'm giving you my business consistently every month that these books are definitely going to sell. So that retailer has to then consider, well, if there is a profit margin with Philbo and these guys want these 5 books, then maybe I'll give them a try. But no retailer is expected to think they're going to keep their lights on by ordering books blindly. But the consumer can tell them, no, you're not ordering blindly. I want this book. So if enough, like for example, Tragedy, my book, we have 9 people with it in their pull list in the local store here. That guy orders anywhere from 12 to 20 issues a month easily and reorders. He can order with confidence because he knows those 9 guys are coming back, and there's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 that pull it off the shelf that just walk in, right? So it's the consumer who has the power. If I always tell consumers, go to my distribution page the same way you scroll through Kickstarter at 3 a.m. Just look at what we're offering, and you'd be surprised how many books you really like. And you go to your retailer and say, I want you to order these books for me because I will buy them every month. And if you're telling him to order 5, 10, 15 books from that catalog, and that retailer says, all right, there is a markup for me on those books and it makes sense with the shipping, blah, 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 which is my side to take care of, then you just told them, I'm guaranteeing you money every month. And they're going to order. So it's up to the fan. If you really believe in indie, if you really believe in what I'm doing, don't root quietly from the sidelines because those days are over. I appreciate cheerleading. I appreciate likes and comments, but it's time to put the pedal to the metal, put the boots to the ground. You got to tell these retailers why it's worth it to them to buy indie.
All right. Cool. I like it. Phil, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
Listen,
and I like that you ask all the tough questions. I like that you had Marvin on because Marvin knows retail. I want you to ask me. I want you to trust what I'm doing, and you can only trust me if you ask the tough questions and I can answer them.
Right. Cool. Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate it. I know Marvin appreciates it, and I'm hoping the community appreciates it. And I mean, listen, man, I know you're doing great work, I'm looking forward. I'll be in touch. We will, get together one time at one point.
Yeah, you don't have to submit because I already know what your material is. If you just want to have a conversation, we can have a face-to-face. I'll explain everything in detail. And if it's worth it to you, let's do it. If it's not, no harm, no foul. I take nothing personally.
Yeah. No. Like for me, it's like being in the business so long. I'm very cautious.
Of course.
Right?
I get it.
It's like you just have to be. It's just one of those things. Because, like I said, my thing is getting to the end of this project, and I have to protect myself and protect my finances to be able to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, Phil, thank you for coming on. You're awesome. Real quick, Phil, where can they find you and your work?
Well, it's funny because we're transitioning over to the new website, but right now, if you go to www.philbodistribution.com, we've had questions of why it's called Philbo. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I have very large hobbit feet, and my wife calls me Philbo. So I took the two greatest things in my life, my wife and my dream of comics, and I put them together. So if you go to philbodistribution.com, the public can see our catalogs, and retailers could go in and sign up for an account, and publishers can submit through the portal. I will be opening a retail store for Philbo products for stuff that I Kickstarter and don't put through distribution as well soon. Facebook, I work off my personal page because I'll get 10,000 people seeing my posts there. But if I do a business page, Facebook buries me. So the best thing to do is go to Facebook, go to Phil Russertt, or is it Phillip Russertt? I forget, but you'll find me. If you go to Instagram, type in Phil Russertt or Philbo on either one, you'll get us. Philbo pops up everywhere at this point. So we're out there, guys, and we're not going anywhere. I just want to make that clear. We're not a flash in the pan. We're not doing this as a hobby. I'm not doing this because I'm bored and have nothing better to do. I'm doing this because I'm in here for the long haul as a publisher, distributor, and printer. We would love your help, but we're doing this no matter what.
Cool.
All right, cool. Marvin.
You can find me on comicsburg.com and theedgecomic.com. Hit those two websites up and you can get to all the socials.
All right, cool. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all those different places. Friday nights here with, not here, but another stream with JD Rosario and Tom. You typically next Sunday, you'll see me here with those guys and some other people. And this Tuesday night with Rob Motari and a couple of guests will be there. And just remember, please, check out the show notes, because in the show notes are links to Phil's page, Marvin's page, my page. And please click those links, buy those books, because we really love making comic books. So please buy those books, help support us. And remember, read more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.